Hey gang, Scott with the Scott Gaertner Group here, and we are back with your October 2020 Scottsdale North Market Minute. And this is going to be an interesting update. We're going to cover a little bit of ground. You know, we've been talking about this for months now, but let's look back a little bit, see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Some of you might remember this slide as we started to find out about COVID. We talked about that in Scottsdale North, historically, March, April, and May are the best sales months of the year. Those were stolen from us this year by COVID. So we wondered at that time, what's going to happen July, August, and September? Now we have an idea, and I'd like to give you a sense of where that went, because I can tell you I didn't know it was going to go this way. To give you an idea on the demand, what's happened since then, this is the Cromford Index Demand chart. The green is Phoenix, the blue is Scottsdale. Typically, Phoenix will have a higher demand than Scottsdale, just partially because lower price points. But most often they'll be higher than Scottsdale. But as we finished up 2019, we saw that it was going to be a good seller's market as demand was well above the norm. Then we continued to move in. We got into late January, February. This is where we had our market update. Many of you probably came to. We brought in Tina Tamboer of the Cromford Report, and she talked about how it's the best market I've seen. I think I talked about how I don't know what could screw this market up. Boom, then the pandemic hits. Holy moly. So here you can see demand really dropped through the floor here, well below Phoenix. And a good reason for that is the Scottsdale North market is typically skews a little bit older. People that are more concerned with COVID rates, those type of things. So you can see it really went down as the COVID scare came into it. But as my friend Russell Shaw talks about, this has a bit of the coiled spring theory. As you compress a coiled spring, the more you compress it, the longer you compress it, the bigger the bounce is when you release it. And here you can see I think this is about July, the bounce really came through to where today we're at 132 in Scottsdale, 115 in Phoenix. So that is huge demand. Fantastic news for sellers. The bad news for the buyers, this is the supply index, still both very, very low. Minus 42 in Scottsdale, minus 29 in Phoenix. So we continue to have that same chronic inventory problems. Now, you'll hear some talk coming up a little bit about foreclosures and such, as people aren't making their payments. That's not really going to happen this year. We're not going to see what we did. In fact, this is an historic supply and demand index. This is where we are today, plus 19 on the demand index, minus 63. So huge difference there, but we had that once before. Right here, you can see this gap. Supply and demand about that big, same here. So a lot of people will be concerned, well, this is 2006 and 7, that's where the crash happened. Supply went through the roof, demand went through the floor. Maybe that's going to happen here. That's not going to happen here. These people that are having foreclosure issues have equity in these homes. They may list them and sell them, but they don't have to give them away. And I don't think they will. They'll be able to work it out. So we don't see much of a chance something like this happening. This is an unprecedented time for sellers and an unprecedentedly hard time for buyers, really. So you've got to be careful. If you're a seller, I see seasoned agents making a mistake on pricing now. Pricing too low in this market. For buyers, it is really brutal on you guys. You need a good agent to coach you through this process, or you could get shut out. At the very worst, it'll cost you thousands. So if you have any interest in buying or selling, give us a call. We can coach you through it. Promise you we can help you to be successful. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. We'll see you next month.